Hello guys, my name is Aerosounds and welcome to another video in the series of budget Hearthstone decks. So basically the aim of this series is to provide you guys with decks that you can play in the Goro expansion for the lowest amount of dust. So if you're a brand new player or you're returning from a long absence from the game, or if you're just a casual free to play player and you've got low resources, these decks can be quite good to help you be competitive on the ladder. None of these decks unfortunately will get you to Legend, but they will provide a good, enjoyable, competitive experience on the ladder. So today we're going to be looking at the Elemental Shaman deck. This deck is the cheapest one I've looked at in the series and can actually be crafted for 940 dust, which is very cheap. A lot of the cards are common cards or common Unguro cards or classic cards. So let me take you through the details. Basically, the idea of the deck is very similar to the Token Druid in that we're going to be putting down on the board a lot of low-cost minions and trying to buff them. And in this deck, the buffs that you have are Bloodlust. So this is an extremely powerful finisher. If you've got a board full of minions and you play this, it can be lethal in that turn. So that's kind of what you're aiming for. But we also have a very good card which goes in a lot of Shaman decks, to be honest, but the Flame Tongue Totem. So it only costs 2 mana, but you can give adjacent minions +2 attack. The other thing to remember about this card is that you can be clever with it as well. So it's not just for hitting the opponent's face. Ideally, you've got some low-cost minions on the board, and if you place your Flame Tongue Totem in the right place, you can actually use it on more than just 2 minions. The minions you have on the board will probably have low health. If you're trying to get rid of a high health taunt, for example, if you place the totem correctly, when one of your minions attacks the big taunt minion you're trying to kill and it dies because it's only got low health, the minions then close up and then the next minion in the line gets +2 attack. So just be mindful of that, of where your placement of the Flame Tongue Totem, because it can be quite important, and you'll see in the videos where I try to explain that. So those are the main finishers or things that can overpower, buff your deck. But there is another couple of cards which are really important. One of them is the Fire Elemental. Now this card is extremely strong for a classic card. Battle Cry, deal 3 damage. So it's very versatile. You can use it on the opponent's face if you just need to finish off that last 3 damage. Or you can use it to remove a particularly difficult minion from the opponent's board. So it is really, really powerful. When you combine that with the Flame Tongue Totem, for example, then you can have a really strong turn and make the swing in the tempo of the game. So that's one. The other one is the Fire Plume Phoenix. This again is a very similar effect card. It just deals 2 damage and has a weaker body. Lower cost of mana, of course, though. But it's really important that when you're playing this game that you don't let the opponent gain the board, because the idea is you want to have control of the board for long enough for you to be able to buff those minions and do enough damage to the face. Also important to this deck is another classic card for Shaman, and that is Hex. A really low cost removal without many downsides, to be honest. It does give them a 0/1 taunt, which is a beast, only relevant if you're playing against a hunter. Just be wary of that. Now when you're starting the game, you're wanting to look for, in your hand, you're particularly wanting to get Firefly. That is a particularly good card because it allows you just to have a supply of low cost minions. And along with that, the Flame Tongue Totem is good to hold in your opening hand. And also I would try and look for the Ingenious Elemental, because this one has a Death Rattle where it returns 2 1/2 elementals to your hand. So what you're doing is you're playing a minion and you're also giving 2, when it dies, you're giving 2 cards back to your hand. So the idea is you're keeping your hand quite full and you're able to keep playing these minions onto the board that you can then buff with your Bloodlust or your Flame Tongue Totem. So that's an important card to have in the deck. There's also some card draw in there. Whether or not you want to put that in there is up to you, but I think it's really important because if you don't draw to the cards that you need, you can kind of stall in this deck. So it's important that you have the card draw just to keep the cycle going. Now this deck only includes 2 rares, and that is the Servant of Kalamos and also the Fire Plume Harbinger. So these 2 cards are important for the deck because the Fire Plume Harbinger will reduce the cost of all the elementals in your hand by 1, and that can really help to improve your tempo and create that swing that you can do to gain control of the game. And also the Servant of Calamos has an interesting battle cry in that it does discover an elemental. So this can be particularly important because you're playing a budget deck, so you haven't got many expensive cards. But if you play this minion, then you can discover more powerful legendary minions. I mean, it doesn't happen all the time, but quite a high percentage of the time you'll get some good legendaries come back from the Servant of Calamos, so that's a good one to have in there. All in all, this deck's a fun one to play. I would say it's probably the weakest out of the series so far in terms of how far it can get you in the ladder. But if you're playing at rank 20, 25, down to about 15, and probably even push to 10, really put some effort in it. It's a good fun deck to play, and it's worth using. So guys, I hope you enjoy playing with the deck. If you watch the games that will come shortly, it will give you some more pointers on how to play it and what kind of decision making I make. But if there's any cards you can't get hold of, let me know in the comments. I'll happily recommend other cards that potentially you could use, or if you find any better ones that you think would work better, also let me know. That would be interesting too. I hope you enjoy the video. If you do, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.
Thrall versus Anduin. The light shall bring victory.
For Doomhammer.
Okay, so these Fireflies are good to hold in my opening hand, because it's just going to give me a constant flow of minions. That's always useful. Pretty nice hand.
Job's done.
Is someone injured?
Okay, that's a bad card. Because basically when he heals it, he's going to draw a card. And because this has only got one attack, it's going to be really frustrating. But I suppose I can kill it on the next turn if I do this. There is no point in me attacking it because he can heal it for 2. So I've got to do 3 damage to it in 1 turn. Okay, that's not the end of the world. He'll get 1 card, then I can kill it with these 3. I'll play this. I just don't want him to draw any more cards because he will. I might not have needed to trade there because of this, but if he has oh, he's playing the quest. That's interesting. Again, it's really important for me to kill that, but luckily this card is an excellent draw. Now I'm gonna totem here. If we're quick enough, he's not going to have enough time to play those Death Rattle minions.
Preserve us!
Play this.
The minion already.
Oh, you're already attacked. If we get a Bloodlust, we're on a good streak. Yeah, I thought he'd draw that eventually.
What is real?
A big minion's probably worth it here. Ooh, I think I'm going to go for this one. Just because we might need that extra damage to knock him down. I may as well. What's. Let's do this. So yeah. When if you cast. Okay. That's not great. But if we draw Bloodlust and he doesn't clear any of these, unless he's got a... Okay, that's fine. Got lucky with that, didn't he? Damn it. Ho ho! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bye bye.
To battle!
So that's the strength of this deck. It does only have one Bloodlust though, so you have to be, it has to be drawn at the right time.
Roll versus
Okay,
Rexa.
Hunter.
Let the hunt begin for Doomhammer.
That is a 1-drop, but I prefer having that later in the game because freezing one of his bigger minions can have a huge impact for me. Unfortunately, I didn't get my 1. Okay, but we've got a couple of 2s, so kindly grandmother.
Put this apple on your
Oh
head.
wow! You don't see that very often. Okay, I'm gonna play this
I'm warning you. I'm unstable.
because that's got a death rattle of deal 3 damage to a random enemy minion. So
Put this apple on your head.
okay, that's ah. If that had hit us there, we could have killed him. But anyway,
Don't mess with me.
well, actually, I can get rid of both of them. This is a bit of an odd play.
Don't mess with me.
But those minions are quite dangerous, and because I have usually low health minions, if I leave them up and he on turn 3 he had like Unleash the Hounds or something, it could be really dangerous. It's bad because I lose that threat of my Flame Tongue, but I think it was worth the risk.
Ash to ash.
Plus he used 1 charge of his bow. I'll probably use the second one here. We've got our Bloodlust in hand, so as soon as we get to the situation... Oh, that. Oh no, don't. Excellent, that's really good. I think this battle cry can target it. Nice. See, if I'd used that on the last turn, I wouldn't be able to do that. And that is a very dangerous minion, that one. We've eliminated 2 of his threats.
To my side.
Trying to adapt his beasts. Ah, that's bad. Freeze an enemy.
Brothers, heed my call.
Right, it's got to be that one.
Nice to meet you.
I think that was the best play there. Because I'm hoping that he will try... Because this, if he trades there, that dies, and if he trades there, that dies, and this lives, so... It was worth freezing that, because I can also deal 3 damage to it. Ooh. Okay, he's going face. Now I should probably play this, to be honest. And then we can kill... Yeah, let's do this. It's a shame I couldn't kill that one too, but it's not much of a threat, so on his turn. He'll most likely trade it in here. If he does, fair enough. And that's fine. You just hear about us, yeah. Yeah, that's good for us. Because all I need to do is just gain a little bit of control, a few minions, and then play the Bloodlust. That's the whole kind of strategy here. Good. Him going face is brilliant for me. That's really good. Oh, unless... Okay. Yeah, I'm a bit worried about my life total now. Alright, so we kill this. Kill this. Yeah, I'm going to do 5 and 3. So let's do this one first. Okay, see what we get. Oh, that's a good card. Look at that. Taunt is really good for us right now. Better not have another. No. What's he got here? No, that's fine. So what have we got? 10, 12, plus 9, 21. So we've just one off lethal, aren't we? 10, 12.
Well fought. I concede. Well played.
Ro versus Jaina.
You asked for it.
Mage, okay.
Doomhammer.
Oh, I don't want any of these. Maybe one of the 3 drops would be okay, but I didn't want any of these either, but okay. That's not a great 2-drop right now either. Man.
An incredible discovery!
Okay. Be interesting if he plays. I haven't played this matchup against a mage, but if he's got ice block, it's going to be quite difficult to play against. Because of course I won't be able to kill him in the 1-turn bloodlust kill. He's going to be able to kill my Tar Creeper as well, which is really annoying. That could be very good.
I'm warning you. I'm unstable.
I was hoping for taunt there. Never mind. Hopefully this kills that. Okay.
Brothers, heed my call.
Those two are terrible elementals, so I'm going to say that this one's really good. I was just concerned about the overload, but
Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me.
50-50. Oh my god. Got unlucky there. I can kill it next turn with this anyway. And he's tearing us apart with that. But we're okay. Oh, okay, so I can play that, or... Yeah, what I'll do is this, actually.
Calamus rises.
Okay. The reason I did that and not this one was because I was worried that one of his secrets was duplicate my minion. So if I gave him a 6-5, then that's really bad. But unfortunately, I think this guy's already too far ahead of us. Unless we were to draw an early bloodlust. Doing this.
You will kneel to battle.
Job's done.
And if when you're playing against a mage and they've got secrets up, make sure you always attack with your weakest minion first, because one of their secrets is Vaporize, which will destroy the minion that attacks it. So if you lose a 1-1, it's fine. Hoping he doesn't have Flame Strike here. Ooh. It's pretty bad.
Ash to ash. You will kneel to battle.
Again.
Oh god, no, that's bad. Okay, I need to. Ooh. He's probably got a flame strike. He's going to play next turn. Let's hex this. Ooh. That's interesting. No, I don't need that.
Melt away to battle!
I thought that was going to be an ice block, so actually if we get a Bloodlust next turn and he can't clear this, then we're in good shape, but I need to do Flame Strike. It's good that I didn't play that. Okay. Now, this might be risky, but I'm going to have to do it. Nice. So that his Death Rattle was summon a 5-cost minion, but he didn't have one, so.
Pass me that Arclight Spanner.
One of his cards is going to be Pyroblast to face, so. Ooh. That's bad for us. The problem with this deck is it hasn't got an ooze to destroy his weapon with, so when you get into this situation, I think it might be game over, guys.
Pass me that Arclight
Yeah.
Spanner.
Yeah, it is. We haven't got any taunts. I can survive this turn, but that's about it.
Hey, give me a minute.
To get ready.
I imagine he's got... all he needs is one fireball and I'm dead, so... There you go.
I sail.
Difficult one, that, against Mage, I think.
Victory or death for Doomhammer.
So, again... I'd like a nicer... okay, that's not the end of the world. See what sort of warrior we're playing against. Whether it's Taunt Warrior or maybe a Pirate Warrior. Okay, so it's Taunt Warrior. I'm going to play that next turn, depending on what he does, because I need to make a good start, because once he starts putting down taunt minions, it's going to be difficult for us, even if we do get a Bloodlust.
Armor made to fit.
Okay. Maybe I should play this one then. Just because it's got 3 attacks, so get rid of that thing a bit quicker.
Out of my jungle.
Ouch.
Ash to ash.
There's no point attacking one damage on his taunt minion there.
I have an axe to grind.
Ow. Ooh, that's nice to get.
Melt away.
So, what do I want to do here?
Melt away.
I'm thinking I should freeze one. But no, I'm going to do this.
I'm warning you. I'm unstable.
He's up to 3 taunts already. Okay, nice, nice. So, what I should do is
Don't
this.
mess with me.
No. Should do 3 damage to that.
Don't mess with me.
Yes, we got lucky there. Unfortunately that's going to do that, but...
Brothers, heed my call. Melt away.
We need a weak turn from him.
Sharp gadgets and steel.
I don't like that card.
Pass me that Arclight's banner.
Oh, the Hex would have been great here.
Melt away.
Never mind.
To battle.
I could do Durin a Bloodlust. He hasn't used any hard removal yet, so I'm a bit worried about that.
Speak to me. Let the pain speak to me.
Okay, that's fine. Let's do this. No, we don't want to do that. We want to do this. Because by the looks of it, none of my minions are going to die here.
I wonder.
Or are they?
The frost wolves stand ready.
Hey, give me a minute.
Hoping he hasn't got Brawl. Let's see what he's got just drawn. Because even if he's got to play 3 more taunts, and he's only played these because he needs to draw something.
What now?
I've got a couple of strong elementals left to play. With that still being up as well, that's really strong for me. That obviously can destroy any of his taunts. Ah! That was, he literally top decked that as well. Come on. Oh, seriously? Second to last one. What a nightmare that is. Okay.
Calamos rises.
I'm going to play that. The reason I played it all was because it means our Bloodlust gets extra if we top deck one. Not that it's going to be enough yet, he's got a lot of armour. But he's got very low cards. That Brawl for us. He should have attacked and drawn cards before he brawled. That was a very big mistake from him, actually. He should have attacked with both his Acolyte Pains. Oh, I seriously got that from his Stonehill Defender. But, okay, well, we can get through that with our Hex. Let's see what I draw first, though.
Pass me that Arclight's banner.
Okay, that's fine. Gonna have to play the Hex. Oh, I can't.
That's not a valid target.
Of course, of course. That was lucky you got that card for him. Forgot about the hex, not being able to hex it.
I ain't talking.
Ooh.
My call.
I've got another brawl, has he? No. Oh, come on, this guy is just... Glad he didn't take that out. Alright, I'm going to play this.
By the elements combined.
I'm going to take this because I'm going to need to have that last bit of damage, I think. Oh, I didn't realise that did it straight away. Anyway.
Give me a minute.
He's only got one card. He only needs one more to do his Taunt's quest. But I've got quite a good deck in that his hero power turns him to deal 8 damage to a random enemy minions. And because I've got so many low cost minions, sometimes it can hit one of those and not cause me too many issues. Let's just see what he's got though. Hopefully nothing good. I really need to start dragging his health down.
I wonder.
Because if he doesn't... Oh, come on. Okay. Oh, that was a bad idea for him. He could have... He wasted a deal 8 damage with that too by doing that, but anyway. Okay, now I'm going to freeze that so he can't attack with that weapon.
Already attacked.
Now, as long as that thing doesn't hit here, there's a very low chance it does, but if it hits anything else, we are in a good position. Especially as I could draw a bloodlust. See? Not bothered about that. We want bloodlust, please.
I hope you like my invention.
Okay, Flame Tongue's quite good. What do I want to do here? Should I do...
I have too many minions.
Okay, I should...
The power is mine! I have too many minions. To battle!
Hey, give me a minute.
Chill out.
See what he's got. Gonna be very difficult for him, I think.
The menagerie is for
But that was a good card for him. He gets to draw cards as well. Oh, come on. I think we still got lethal though, to be honest. Have we? I don't know what this guy's thinking. He's literally just giving me the game, I think. Yeah, yes.
To battle!